So in this video, I'm going to show you another one of the really powerful tools that Photoshop has. It's called the History tool. One thing that Photoshop isn't great about is that you can only undo something one time. So if you were to make I'm going to do this quick. You don't have to follow me at this point. I'm just going to show you a few things. So if I draw some different lines on here with my paintbrush, if I do a Control Z, I can only go back one time. Do you see how that's just going back and forth and putting it on and off? I can't actually go like in Word. I can't Control Z my way all the way back to the beginning, which is kind of a bummer. However, Photoshop has their own cool tool. It's called the History panel. So if your History panel isn't up, which I'm guessing it's not, you want to go to Window and then History and open up your History panel. This will be one of those things. Yours might appear out here like this. It might just jump out here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring this over here until you see that blue line, and you're going to want to dock it because you will use your History panel all the time. Okay, so yours will look like this. It'll just say paint bucket. Okay, because that was the last thing that you did. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bunch of kind of random things to this graphic, and then I'm going to show you the power of the History tool. So to start off with, and we'll talk more about these tools in a little bit, so don't panic if you miss a step or you don't keep up. That's okay. This is just for practice. So I'm going to grab my shape tool down here. It's right above my hand tool. And I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to draw a shape. It's just a square right now. And I'm going to draw another one over here. And then I'm going to get my type tool out, which is the little T. And I'm going to come over here and click. And I'm going to type my name. And I'm going to commit it with my little green check mark. And I have to grab my hand tool here to move it over. Well, what the heck? All sorts of funky chunky today. That's super weird. I'm going to delete that and try that one more time. My computer has been so glitchy today. See if I can't get it to move around here. There we go. Okay. And then last but not least, I'm just going to grab my paintbrush tool, and actually that's probably enough. That's enough. We'll just leave it there. Don't worry about your paintbrush tool. Okay, so we've done a few things. We added a couple shapes. We added some text. It looks like a kind of crappy document, and that's okay because all we're going to do is practice with our History tool. So over here on your History panel, every time that you did something, you will have a little, what it's called, a stage. So it kind of freezes a stage of your document. What the History panel allows you to do is to click back on a stage, or to move forward, or to go all the way back to the beginning, or you could go all the way to the end, or you can go back to this stage, or this stage, or this stage, whatever it happens to be. So it's a really, really powerful tool that allows you to kind of move within your document. Now, with that being said, you do not have an unlimited amount of stages, because as cool as that is, that takes up a whole lot of memory, which means that your program is working super hard to do that. So what I want to show you is if you click on this little drop down menu here, go down to where it says History Options and open that up. Sorry, that wasn't quite where I wanted you to go. Well, I thought that it was going to show us that, but it is not, huh? Well, everybody, I'm kind of stumped here for a second. It should give us the options, but it is not. Okay. Well, what I will tell you is that you can change the number of states that are in your history panel. And I thought that it was there, but maybe they've relocated it with this different. I haven't changed mine for years, but maybe they've relocated. I guess I'm going to have to do some checking. But what mine is defaulted to and what yours is defaulted to right now is 20 states. So we could add a whole bunch of other shapes, and this would fill up to 20 different states, and then your stuff at the top would start to go away because it cannot hold an infinite amount of states. So you only have 20 of those. So you can't go like clicking with a paintbrush 50 times and expect that you can go back to the very beginning or past those 20 states. Because once you go past 20, those states are gone. Photoshop has to delete them out of its memory, otherwise it would be way too full. You can always go back to the very beginning, which would be our practice one stage. You can always go back here, or if you had an image that you pulled off the internet, you could always go back to there, the very beginning when you opened it. But if you get more than 20 states, you're going to lose that. So that is your history panel. It's a really, really, really cool tool, but just don't forget that you have a set amount of states that you can use. So leave this open because the last thing we're going to talk about in this Unit A section is how to save different types of files. So we'll do our last video here together, and I'll meet you over there.